Yeah, I mean, obviously he gave up a couple homers, but the pitch that I went out to the mound with, where I should have had to take him out of the game, but I didn't even realize. I was so upset. It was my third trip. I didn't even know it. Because Jake's handing me the ball. I said, "You're still in this game. You're not going anywhere." And I said, "Just staying right here. I want the umpire to walk out here." And that's what I was telling him. So that's exactly what happened. And I wasn't going to have any of that, because that strike him out, throw him out, that's an entirely different baseball game right there that occurred on that particular pitch. Jake stays in the game. Jake has a chance for everything turned on that particular pitch. But I'm not going to denigrate the umpire. We had plenty of opportunities, plenty, to win that game in a normal fashion or earlier. We had so many great at-bats to set it up, and then we just could not seal the deal. Soler obviously gave us every opportunity with the homer. But we got in late last night. We got in. I got back to the room about 3 a.m. So these guys, they're coming off West Coast, East Coast. They're the Central Time Zone. They're tired. We had to show up today early for a picture, which that happens sometimes. And they came out and played till midnight. So, I mean, of course, you want to win that game. That's a tough game to lose. But understand the effort that you saw tonight based on a lot of fatigue. And that's probably what I'm most proud of.
For Montero, who's had his role kind of, changed by Wilson coming up, for him to come through the way he did at the end, what's to say about him?
It's wonderful. He's been a great mentor to not only Wilson, but a lot of the guys. Well, I see him talking on the bench all the time with somebody. There's always a conversation going on among our younger players. He stayed ready in the moment. Obviously, a very large at bat to culminate that game. Because again, I mean, to not be able to push it across right there, I did not. I mean, we pitched so many guys tonight. I didn't want to pitch. There was no choice. I did not want to use Travis. Did not want to use Grimm. Did not want to use Cahill. Did not want to use Rob Z. I didn't want to use any of those guys. So that's when you have to do that. If you win, at least you feel like obviously that it was worth it. If you don't, then it's a really difficult evening. Poof. Yeah. He had opportunities to score the winning run a couple times. He had some great at-bats. He was all over the place. He plays with a lot of verve. The plays at the plate, I don't even know on the tag at first base and throw to the plate. That play stance. So that's why it's so important that the call on the field matters. Get it? But Javi, again, look at the whole group and how they. That's my point. Look at how they all played tonight. And I promise you, it was. It must have been the onesies. If you're flying on a charter airplane and you have onesies on, you got to feel better the next day, even if you're a little bit late.
What did the umpire say to you guys? It looked like he was almost apologizing to you guys at the mound.
Listen, he's a young umpire. He probably, he'll probably take a good look at the game on video and maybe reassess what had happened. He's a wonderful young man. He's a good guy. I can only take so much, because I don't want to. He's a guy you could talk to, and that's like one of the first things you want to see in an umpire is an umpire that you could talk to. He's a great guy, but at the end of the day, man, when you're constantly being frustrated like that, you have to make your point, and I did.
Joe, you come back on the 9th and the 13th. Is it twice as exciting when you rally back twice in one game?
Yeah, it would have been nice had we been able to finish it off again, just purely based on pitching. That's all your mind thinks about in the dugout in those moments is, who's going to pitch next, what is it going to look like tomorrow and the next day. You think all of that. You just don't think about that moment. I'm a present tense guy, but when it comes to bullpen dudes, you don't want to beat them up. So I'm thinking about all that stuff while this is in progress.
If you're advancing the Cubs, I guess the most dangerous pitch to a Cub is 0-2.
Yeah, we've gotten better. We're getting back to that April attitude where we were much better moving the baseball with 2 strikes and having things happen. Even like, Riz hits the ball. It just happens to be right at the first baseman standing on the bag. What are you going to do about something like that? We're working really good mental everythings. Everybody's engaged, and that's what I'm talking about. My biggest concern, as you know, is fatigue. So they had to be tired today, but nevertheless played till post midnight with energy, and I love it.